never got the point of happy wife, happy life. You hear it growing up and it conditions you to think as long as a woman is happy, all will be well. And then you grow up in a generation where women strive to do exactly that, make sure that they are happy above all else, including above their partner. To live by happy wife, happy life is selfish. To live by happy spouse, happy house is love. And now it confuses me to think why a woman would put her happiness above anybody else when she asks for a leader, a provider, a protector, all in one, to be loyal and to serve according to her emotions and necessities. Seems like a big responsibility to take on a wife. It almost sounds like a child. To be taken care of, to be paid attention to be coddled and loved, and never wanting to seem like she's giving too much, because then who are you to tell her anything? To have enough sexual experience to please her in the bed, but now you have to compete with all the men that have already left their mark in her, and it's not just one, and it's not just two, and it's not just three. And it doesn't stop there. You have to look her type, act her type, and most of the time she wants a little bit of hood and a little bit of holy. But if you...
Bruh, dang. She just said a whole lot in a minute. We didn't finish it. She just said a whole lot.
Wow.
What you think about this?
Yes. Yes to all of it. Man, listen. Wow. She just became a whole bunch of guys type, bro. Like, that's crazy. That was crazy. Yeah. I started saying this a while ago, that happy wife, happy life is a scam.
Yeah.
Me and her like had a good laugh about it. But that's just how I feel. I understand both sides of it, because I was very blue pill, they would call it, a male feminist type thing when I lived in New Jersey, because that was a part of the culture that's up there. The people who don't act like that were usually just anomalies. They were always like weird compared to everybody else. The dominant mindset was a very male feminist type of thing, because you're right next to New York. Everybody's very liberal. And so happy wife, happy life made a lot of sense to me back then. So I was in that space. When I sort of came out of that space and I came down here to the South, things started changing. And it wasn't just because I was in the South, but I also started reading the Bible again and stuff like that. And I started being like, oh, the Bible ain't say nothing about happy wife, happy spouse. It ain't say nothing about that. None at all. None at all. So I was like, okay, so that sound like some bull. And then I started realizing, with a lot of the content coming out of the red pill space, that a lot of men felt emasculated. A lot of men felt like their needs were not being cared for. And all that a lot of women were worried about is, what are you doing for me? We out of order. If you're not a Bible believer, because just because you're a Christian doesn't mean that you're a Bible believer. And I actually was just watching a video today. Though? Let me rephrase based on what you just said. Just because you claim Christian.
Okay, there we go.
Doesn't mean that you're a Bible believer.
Yeah.
One of the Bible scholars that I watch, he was talking about it. He had stats. He said 40% of pastors have a biblical worldview. The other 60 don't.
What?
Pastors. 4% of people in America have a biblical worldview, even though over 60% claim Christianity.
Well,
that is wild. But when you talk to people and you start to compare what they say to what the Bible says, a lot of us are too concerned about how we feel about stuff.
This is true.
I'm sorry, how my kids feel about not being able to eat Wendy's, McDonald's, and Chick-fil-A every day does not factor into my decision as to what they're going to eat. It doesn't. We think too highly of our emotional stance on any particular subject. We are too emotionally connected to things that don't actually make sense because it makes us feel good. We want it to be right.
That's true.
And as somebody coming back to the Lord, as somebody reading his Bible, they were radically opposed to a lot of things that are considered the right way to do things nowadays. And it's a lot of people who go to church who will actually argue you down, even if you show them the verse. What you arguing with me for? Go get mad at Jesus, bro. Like honestly, a lot of my opinions nowadays are just strictly based off of, does this align with the Bible? And if it don't, then...
But if you act too holy, you're seen as weak. And if you act too hood, it comes across as you're too aggressive. She wants a man that will spoil her and treat her like a princess, to be called queen but have no class when the words out her mouth are disrespectful as soon as it doesn't go her way. But you must be patient and you must be graceful with her. And the irony of all that I say about this is that she wants to come as she is. It sounds like she's looking for the love of God in men.
She don't want to just come as she is. She want to stay that way too. Yeah. That's the problem.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of us don't want to do anything with ourselves because changing your character, like changing the type of person that you are, is like the hardest thing. It requires a lot of effort, time, energy, and work for you to make yourself a better person. And a lot of people, they just ain't got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
They're just like, no, this is me. Yeah. This is my truth. That's like the big thing that you hear now. Like, it's not the truth. It's what's my truth. And even that right there in and of itself is like, to me, is crazy. I'm just like, really? Why are we saying this is my truth instead of
the truth?
The truth. Like, why we start saying my truth?
Because they're trying to validate they want to validate
their wrongness.
It's not even that. It's yes. But they want to validate how you personally experienced an event. Because two people can look at an event and see it completely different. Mm-hmm. Usually because they're coming from different perspectives.
That's understandable. Yeah.
So they're trying to validate both people's how they look at it. But the thing is, when you're looking at something, you're looking at it with all of the things that have happened to you in that situation or even during that day. Mm-hmm. And you're looking at it through that lens. And a lot of times we're blinded and we can't see things because of the way that we were raised or because of the echo chamber that we exist in. So that's where it comes from.
I guess, but that still doesn't change what is the truth. Yep. Like, I understand everybody.
Say it again.
That doesn't change what is the truth.
There you go.
Like, I understand everybody's, everybody. Yes, we all gonna have a different perspective. Like, we can look at, a painting, and everybody's gonna have a different viewpoint as far as how it makes them feel. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, you look at it. It's like, is it a painting? Yes. Is it white, purple, and blue? Yes. Like, it's not, well, I feel this is really beige, black, and this, that, and the third. It's like, is it white and blue? Like, yes or no? It's not if you feel if it's white and blue, is it white and blue? Right. Like, there's certain things that are just obvious, just truth. It just is what it is. Yes. Anyway.
All right, guys, I need you to do me a favor.
What's that?
I need you to hit that like button. Mm-hmm. I need you to hit that subscribe button. Mm-hmm. I need you to hit the notification button. I need you to hit all the buttons. Thank you.
I felt like Homegirl was reciting a poem.
No, it did.
It came off very
the hair, the music in the background, the way she was saying it. Yeah, it did feel like Love Jones. Dear Husband, Dear Wife is the name of the TikTok channel.
Yeah.
From the first video, that's the first video that I've seen of her, and yeah, I like her.
Yeah,
she good.
That's pretty good.
That boy is good.
Mm-hmm. Ladies, if you go into a marriage thinking that the man has to satisfy your feelings and that you don't have to reciprocate, I feel bad for you. Mm. Because you're probably headed for divorce, or you're going to have a lot of drama and issues in your marriage. And if that is the mindset that you have going into it, a lot of it's going to be your fault. Here's a tip. Your man don't want the same things you want. Y'all don't want the same things.
Nope.
When it comes to meeting needs. There are characteristics that make a marriage work, which both of you have to have, right? The ability to communicate, the ability to listen. Men require respect in order to feel completely fulfilled in a marriage. Women require love in order to feel completely fulfilled in marriage. Does that mean that the man does not want your love? No. Does that mean that the woman does not want and need your respect? No. But there are different hierarchies as far as how we react. If you respect a woman, but you don't love her, she's going to feel something off in a marriage. She's not going to be satisfied because you don't love her. And she's going to sense that, and that's going to bother her. The fact that she has more connections in her brain to her emotional side than you is going to make her feeling that love. Your lack of sacrifice in consideration of her. Mm-hmm. You making her feel less than that version of love. Those actions are going to make the marriage low-key unbearable for her. And even if you're providing and you're protecting in a great way, if you don't have that, she's probably going to divorce you. On the other side, if you love that man to death, but you don't respect him, you disrespect him, because that's something that I see so often in a lot of these situations. If you are disrespecting your husband in your marriage, here's the kicker. Because of how men are, he might stay.
Yikes.
I want to let you know that you are responsible to an extent in making him miserable. because you two are not just dating and he could just be like, well, I'm gonna just leave.
Right.
You're married to the guy. He has a responsibility to stay with you through and work with you through. If you never come to the point that you respect and submit to your man, the unhappiness that he has that is connected to his relationship with you is, to a large extent, your fault. Not all. He should demand respect. Yep. But because we live in this world of effeminized men and masculine women, a lot of the roles in the home are skewed. The reason we know this is because it's no different from the things that happen in our house. She wasn't disrespecting me, but we definitely started in more of a partnership, not a husband-wife relationship. They're different. Everybody wants partnerships. If you are a Christian, biblically, it don't ever talk about partnerships. It does not, despite what people tell you as a man that you are supposed to submit to your wife. Nope. That is inaccurate. When you read the verse in chronological order, the submission is between Christians, not between husband and wife. No. Husband and wife has a very specific setup because it mimics the relationship between Jesus Christ and the church. Jesus Christ does not submit to the church. It's the other way around. And since the husband is to represent Jesus Christ and the wife is to represent the church, thank you, the church is to submit to Christ. Christ sacrifices for the church. The husband sacrifices for the wife and is very concerned about her well-being. He loves the wife like Christ loved the church. And the wife respects and submits to the husband the way the church respects and submits to Jesus Christ. That is very different from a partnership where we both love and respect each other and it's all even. That is not biblical. That is feminist. Feminism is not the fan or friend of Christianity biblically. Oh boy.
Yeah, because you can't have two heads. Like, you gotta have a head. Like, when we're talking about a body, let's say, for example, like, it'd be kind of weird if we were walking around with two heads.
Ew, no.
Right? You have to have one head on one body. And if husband and wife are coming together as one, we can't both be the head. Yeah, the brain and the heart. Like, your brain, and you need both of them to be alive,
right?
And for you to be able to function. And it's the same thing with husband and wife. I don't understand why we feel as though we must be equal, like we have to be exactly the same. Why would God make man and woman if he wanted us to be the same? He would have just made two men or two women, but he did not. He specifically made male and female, two individuals he made to come together as one. And they both have different key functions, different parts that they bring together to make the whole. That was all I was going to say about that. Oh, actually, no, it's not. I was going to say, other thing is, we were talking about our society as far as, like, we've been raised to always think that, at least here in these US of A's states, everything is supposed to be catered to the woman. Like, happy wife, happy life. We always talk about the Disneyfication, like the Disney movies and everything like that. It was this picture that has been painted for us, and we feel as though that's like reality, and it's not. If you guys made it this far, go ahead and smash that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, so that way YouTube know that you appreciate what we're putting down.
Yeah, I took the P out of the anyway. All right, y'all, that was it. Till next time, peace.
Hey everybody, down in the description there are two links.
One is to a GoFundMe, and the other one is to a video that explains what the GoFundMe is for. Long story short, we have a medical situation with our daughter that we have to pay for everything out of pocket, and we could really use you guys' help. Yes. If you have the time, we'd love for you to go check it out. If you have the money, the funds, we'd love for you guys to help. If not, maybe you could send a link to somebody else who can help. We thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Peace.
Press the off button.